So hello. I wasn't really at all planning on streaming today, but I figured I have some time in the evening. Unfortunately, I've been feeling a little, what do you say, just, I guess, wanderlust is not the right term, but something like that. Speaking of wanderlust, I was kind of randomly looking stuff up online about Genshin the other day, and I learned that, or I knew, but I forgot. I had forgotten, and I relearned that the story polls are called Wanderlust Invocation, and I never really had thought about what do those words even mean. I guess it just passed through me, and I remember reading it, and I remember probably sounding them out in my head, but never really thought about what they meant. But I guess the idea is that we're invoking the wanderlust that these characters feel, and so they choose to join us in our journey because we are the traveler after all. So that's just something I never thought about, and I guess it's pretty obvious when you think about it for even a second or maybe 5 seconds, but I hadn't even put that much thought into it in the past. So this is I'm just finishing up a artifact route, and unfortunately I haven't figured out a really great way to get past these guys. I mean, I can always just walk past them, I guess, but if I activate them, I do prefer to kill them. I feel like I at least owe them that if I bothered them. Okay. Use your burst. And I have been trying to wean myself off again from Zhongli, and I have used Noelle basically when I can in order to provide a much weaker shield, and also one that has a significant cooldown. Not a huge one, but I think it's longer than Diona's in terms of the amount of time you have to wait after the shield runs out when you can activate the shield. From what I understand, Zhongli is the one and only character who provides a shield whose cooldown is shorter than the duration, so you can overlap it, and in fact it's almost 50% shorter. It's 10 seconds to 18, so it's 60% of the length of the cooldown, which is kind of nuts. It's almost double, so well, obviously you have 8 seconds of lag time when you can switch back to Zhongli and get that shield up. And of course get that buff too if you got... Well, I think he automatically provides like a 20% or 10% elemental slash normal attack buff, or it's like defense debuff against an enemy that gets hit by his E. So if you have his pillar nearby, that's pretty useful, but I'm not quite sure how often his pillar resets, because if you do his burst or his E back to back, it's not gonna... Or maybe it resets in the same time as the shield, i.e. 18 seconds. And since I'm always overlapping... let's see. So I didn't put up his shield. Now the shield is gonna go away at some point. Yeah, so no, the pillar stays. So I don't know what the time limit for the pillar is. It goes away if it gets destroyed, of course. Oh wait, it sounded like maybe that got destroyed. Yeah, oh, it makes a sound. Huh. And I obviously didn't time it, but given that the shield itself lasts 18 seconds, my guess would be that's roughly 30 seconds. Maybe a little shorter. Is this a... No, it's a weapon. I should avoid that. So I noticed in Inazuma they've tended to put a lot of weapons right next to artifacts. And I haven't ever run into the 100 limit yet, but I do know that's a bigger possibility these days for a lot of people. I guess it is a bigger possibility these days for me too. It's never happened yet. But anyway, let's start the Kokomi story after I check one last area for artifacts. Or is it just one artifact that I haven't picked up yet? And Even though I don't have any characters who use these guys' hand guardrails, I do know that if you need them, it can be kind of a bitch to farm, so as long as I'm in the area, I might as well take care of these guys, I guess. Try that. So the first few hits are melt, but the rest are just... Yeah, and then... Oh shit! Wait, what hit me? I'm not sure what hit me there. Was it that I ran into the guy who was on fire and I got fired myself? I'm gonna place a stream marker just to check what hit me there, because I was a little confused, because I dashed into an enemy who was dying, or I'd already killed him, lowered his HP to nothing. That guy's one of those enemies that has a longish dying animation. Sisson mages also, noticed, can have quite long ones before I mean, I don't mind the long animations, but the one thing that's annoying about it is that the drops don't appear until a good portion of the way into the animation. Probably at least a couple seconds. And I would rather just get the drops the moment I kill the guy, because I did my job, I killed the guy. I think I deserve my drops then and there, please. Alright, let's pick up these. So for well, not the longest time, but maybe a couple of weeks, I thought the Tanuki was just pointing to this guy, and then one day I noticed that he actually appears here as this box. And that's the one that he's pointing to. So earlier today, I know I had something like 780 artifacts. 860, so it's like roughly 80 artifacts that I've gotten. I don't know if I had exactly 780 or what, but that's around what I remember. Let's go to Kokomi's story. Let's see what that's all about. What Tatsumi sightseeing? I like the idea of that. I wonder if it's a date event. Oh wait, what's this one? Event like Ayaka and Raiden Shogun. I wouldn't mind that. Okay, so we go in this way. Wait, she said to meet her here? Wait, Swordfish the second, yeah. Or Swordfish 2, I do remember that bit. I did that on stream a couple weeks ago now, I think. Actually have very little sense. A lot of the Genshin stuff kind of blend together, to be honest. I remember going through the stories, obviously, but most of them were very long ago, of course. Ooh, Goro. The enemy outnumbers you, seek their... Yep. That's a nice mustache he's got. And I'm not sure why he just said that. Those seem like pretty general... ship. Okay, so he's talking about dealing with the ship. And also, does he need to keep that tail up? I would have assumed that if I had a tail like that, I'd keep... Maybe it just doesn't take much effort for him. Actually, if you live your whole life with that, I'm just thinking I'd probably keep it down most of the time. Oh, hello, Nat. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, thanks for coming by. I wasn't really planning on streaming tonight, but as you can see, I figured I'd try doing some of this event or story quest. Yeah, I figured I want to do it on stream, and I had a spare hour or two, and I figured might as well see if I can get this through. It might be too long, but in any case, I'll make some progress. Split up without sufficient forces. Yeah. From what I've seen... Oh, I haven't done a trial quest yet. I'll have to do that right after this cutscene, actually. Yeah. I wanted to get that through, too. I've seen streamers play it and play her after getting her. I saw a streamer get her C6. She originally wasn't planning on getting her beyond like C0, but somebody like paid her $500 or something and just said go for it. But anyway, she kept winning 50-50s. So, and she, from what I've heard, she seems a little underwhelming, but she seems cute and probably does her job all right. She seems like a very big generalist who's not great at anything, which is unfortunate, but she's good enough at most things. If she had a shield, yeah, if she had even a mediocre shield, she would be the true generalist of the game, because she could provide heals, she can do some damage with, especially with melt, and she could yeah, provide shields. Can she make energy? I think she actually has some trouble with energy. Is that a thing? I don't remember. But I've heard generally mixed to negative reviews about her. And I'm not that big into her design anyway, so definitely skipping this banner. Just feel bad about having to miss the 4 stars. Oh yeah? What's on your side? Right, are we gonna help these guys out? Yeah, ambush Fatui. She might need Jingchu. Wait, how would that work though? She can't really do reactions with Jingchu, right? And what does even double hydro provide? I thought it was extra healing or something like that. And I thought she... I'm just kind of curious now, because I haven't checked it in a long ass time. Resonance, soothing water, pyro for 40% less, and healing by 30. Yeah, yikes! They need to buff that. I mean, they need to buff that. They buffed Geo Resonance, right? They need to buff Hydro Resonance. Holy shit! I'm not even a big Hydro person, but seeing that just kind of hurts. Yeah. Wait, a C2 Jingchu is useful? Well, of course he is, but what's specific about a C2? C2 duration. Oh yeah, absolutely. So I have him C4, and I'd obviously love him all the way to C6. Him I have C4. Beto I have C4 as well, I think. Let's see. Yep. And Rosaria I have only C1, I think. C1 or C2? C1, yeah. So absolutely, this would be just a god tier banner for me on 4 stars. This is a god tier banner for me on 4 stars. It's just a shit tier, maybe not shit, but just unfortunate tier banner for the 5 star because I'm really not interested in the 5 star at all, and I don't want to waste my guaranteed. Oh, hello Wave Master, thank you for coming by. Hope you've been doing well. I don't know if you had any interest in Kokomi, but as you can see, I'm... Ooh, I do like that fish design in the back. I had never really quite noticed before. People called her a mermaid, so I knew that she had an overall mermaid-ish design, but I didn't catch initially that the dress was like that. Do the trial quest. You tried to get her. Oh, really? 80 rolls? Holy cow, 80 rolls? I'm sorry you didn't get her in 80, even though you tried, even though you wanted. But, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of pity saved up now. Yeah, not sure if you want to give up your savings. Yeah, I hear you. Especially, yeah, if Yae Miko is anytime soon, I really would prefer to be able to get her. 60 rolls into 50-50. Okay, so you're pretty close to at least another 5 star. 85 for Kuchi. Yeah, I'm sorry about all that luck. Very unfortunate, but what can you do? Alright, so let's actually see what she's like. I imagine with Zhangling. Also, I'm kind of curious about her stats. I know that she can't crit, so yeah. Yuta reruns could be coming. Yeah, I hear you. I don't know how much to trust the rumors and such, but if there is any truth to the idea that there's a Hu Tao rerun or a Ganyu rerun, those might be worth, yeah, for me. Yeah, so I've actually heard that I read on Reddit that nobody's ever recorded evidence of somebody going all the way up to full 90. The highest anyone's ever found was 89, which I found interesting. Yeah, 21 crit for nothing and crit down. Yeah, so I know crit is just not a thing on her at all, because she has a negative 100% crit rate or something. And so, just, you can completely ignore crit. Heart of Death. What does the 4-piece do anyway? Using elemental skill increases normal attack and charge attack damage by 30. Did they give her weapon? It's level 80, but it is her weapon at least, if I'm in rank 1. Yeah, I guess they didn't necessarily want to overload her. Builder, but it's a meme. Oh, really? I mean, can you really get over 100% enough? I guess you can... Yeah, you can... I think I've seen people with Rosaria over 100%. So, yeah, I guess it's definitely doable. So that means you've at least got, like... But I still imagine you can't get much over 100%, right? Okay, I want to use her burst. And obviously Zhangling's burst is doing nothing here. Open world, yeah, I could definitely say that. You can... Oh, really? 170 is how high you can go? Alright, that's respectable. Now, I imagine if you go all the way to 170, well, that's obviously a 70% crit rate, which is quite solid. But how much of other stats are you sacrificing there? I imagine you're looking at like a 50% crit damage or something. Oh, also with extra characters. Okay, that makes sense too. That totally, yeah. I guess you can use double cryo. Oh shit, I didn't mean to press X. I should press triangle. You can use double cryo resonance, and in fact you can give her the Blizzard Strayer set for straight up extra 40%. But I don't know if that's how you'd yeah. I can totally see that. Yeah, that's why it's a meme. But that actually seems pretty fun to try. If no, I probably wouldn't. Even if I had Kokomi, I don't think I'd spend the time and effort to build something like that. Well, I guess if I got lucky with a lot of crit rate pieces, I could just try it on her at some point. It just wouldn't be a permanent thing, you know? But yeah, 97% crit rate on Rosario. Mine's about that too, actually. Mine's completely sacrifices everything, basically, just to get that. So, she is pure support for me. Pure support. Even ER. I'd love to have higher ER on her, but I decided to just build her super easily. Ball, Zhangling, and Fischl. But not yet. I mean, there's still plenty of time, right? Before her banner's over, so if you do want it. But yeah, I imagine that would be a pretty solid team. You'd have little problem with energy thanks to Ball. And the double Electro obviously doesn't hurt. And you get the Electro Charge, and Vaporize is of course the best reaction in the game. Or one of the best in any case. Recently I've come to enjoy killing guys this way with Sayu. There's something satisfying about it, just I'm not even beating them, I'm just swirling a bunch of elements around them, and they're helpless while she literally runs circles around them. With the full Millilith set, 3-star Catalyst. Oh yeah, with Thrilling Tales. Yeah, should be a solid support. Healer, enable freeze, obviously. I can see that. I'm not sure how useful the 4-piece on Millilith is on her. I don't know how well that works with the proccing. Because it's like every 6 seconds, right, you need?
実は三宮様はあらゆるこの虎の巻のおかげでこんなにたくさんの策どんだけ時間をかけて書いたんだ。あらゆる状況に対応できるよ。
What do you mean never spend 170 rolls for her? You said you went 80 in, right? But are you not at the guarantee? Is it possible for you to lose 50-50? Or did you already lose 50-50 again? Or I don't, yeah, I didn't quite catch that.
隊長、今回せっかく渡積島に戻ってきたんですし、もう一度。
Okay, so yeah, right, I did think you got Kaching last trying to get another constellation of Ball, right? And then now you're at the guarantee, so you can guarantee yourself a Kokomi before she goes away, right? That's definitely a thing.
今は平和な時期ですので、約半分の兵士は特別行動。ただ先日、昔の同僚が家なんか建てるよりも抵抗軍のみんなはそういえばオイラたちがここに来たのはここに
I wonder, so yeah, speaking of collecting saving up pulls and such, obviously recently in Genshin the anniversary rewards have been kind of a shit show, and I feel like everyone, nobody I've heard from has had a positive opinion on this. The most positive I've heard was a streamer, the VTuber Hina Molina, who just said, yeah, this is what I expected. You know, it's a gacha company, they want money, so they're not going to give away a whole lot. This is what I expected. I felt like that was about the most positive reaction I saw. And yeah, I'm a little more negative than that, I guess, but what can you do, right? At the end of the day, I just find it silly that they're like, give us free advertising for a chance. It's just like they're multiplying like different aspects that are really negative in unique ways. Yeah, but like I said, you know, what can you do? I'll just be happy with what I get, and 10 extra pulls saved, I'll be happy about. That will be 10 closer to 360, which is the guaranteed C1. Right? And I'm at around 300 pulls saved now, a little more now. So I'd love to, you know, that'll give me a good amount of progress towards 360. There's a gift from Mihoyo? Oh, right, I saw that. Kokomi's banner was just absolute. Yeah, it just. But I mean, I don't think it has much to do with the anniversary. It might be a partial factor, but my guess is it's mostly to do with just her. But yeah, I imagine. I mean, I have heard people talk about quitting Genshin. And if they can escape, good for them. But I imagine it's not that many people at the end of the day. They're not going to lose that many people. I'm sure they've done some sort of calculations to figure this out, and I imagine the attrition or whatever isn't going to be that huge. But of course, it's not like billion-dollar companies can't make mistakes, right? And I do feel like they are making one here, a pretty significant one. Yeah, ball sucked all our primos. That's also true. I imagine there's a refractory period for gacha gamers, just like for anyone, right? So, I mean, for any man, but of course, women actually do have refractory periods, they're just way shorter, right? But in any case, gacha gamers have a refractory period too. It takes time to rebuild the St. Quartz or Primo Gems in this game, right, and everything. So that's a thing. So I imagine that's one reason Kokomi is also not really pulling that many or that much Genesis Crystal money. Tectone too? Yeah, I imagine he would. I haven't actually I don't watch him or anything, but no, I've seen clips of him and such. I imagine he'd be the type to kind of complain, and yeah, I'd agree with that. I wouldn't blame anyone who complains. I try not to, but I can understand. Definitely understand. I wonder how the fan art will be, though. I hope some good stuff come out. I mean, not that there's a shortage of great Genshin fan art, right? But what stuff will come out? And the cosplay too. You will always do better anniversary. Yeah, so that's what I figured as well. I agree that you can never reduce the amount of rewards you give on a year. Every year they have to escalate, or else people are going to be shitting on them, right? And so they start low, but this seems like a really low point to start, right? This is literally, like, I would say it's arguably not even as good as what we got at Jiao Festival, because free advertising, like, you're asking us to provide free advertising. It seems kind of silly. And yeah, rewards themselves are based around gacha as well, which we saw how that went with the other thing, right? It was like, what, a billion primos shared among everyone? I don't even remember the number. They apparently calculated it out to an average of like 100 primos per person or something, but then they decided to make it a gacha where some people got like 180, some people got 80, and I think other people even got like 50? I don't remember how many I got actually, but it was just, why put that gacha system there? It would just cause bitterness, right, among people who got less. And even if you got the more, it's just not that big enough of a reward to feel like, oh wow, I got so lucky there. Yeah, 20 rolls, I agree. I thought before the announcements and everything, if you forced me to predict or bet on it, I would have said minimum 20 free rolls. Like that, I felt like that's like a floor for what they would give. And I would have lost a lot of money if I had bet that, obviously. So, silly me. Silly a lot of people. But like I said, 10 pulls will contribute to my Gene C1 fund. And maybe, depending on the next upcoming banners, I'll actually be able to keep a proper 360 pulls total saved up in the bank at any time for a surprise Gene banner. Can you imagine if MiHoYo just announces tomorrow, 24 hours only, Gene banner, surprise, and then it's like, oh shit, I just spent all my primos trying to get blah blah blah, and I can only see zero her, and I'd feel silly. Alright, so we're dealing with the Fatui on this island. That seems to be the general story. To be honest, I'm barely paying attention. I am very little invested in this whole politics on this island. Honestly, I was hoping for a more personal story where we talk with Kokomi, but so far it seems like we're kind of just helping out her comrades, and I'm just happy enough to skip through a lot of this. Yularu Kaza rerun, happy to give a guarantee. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't blame you. That's what I would do. I mean, you know my opinion about Kokomi, so. But yeah, I figure since I do have the guarantee. Sure, if there's a Hutao banner, I might go for her. She does seem super fun to play. The times I've gotten to play her, she's been quite a lot of fun. I'll have to learn jump cancelling, as Evan always says, but hey, I can learn jump cancelling. Unless somehow I pull her C1. Peace talks, play it safe, everything is a-okay. But other than Hutao, maybe another constellation of Ganyu would be pretty great. I think C2 Ganyu provides the extra flower, so I can do a double E, which that would be a nice little help. But then again, it's not all that. Like, I use her E definitely, like, all the time, and it's useful, but in terms of overall damage output coming from her, it's not the greatest. Appreciate Kokomi more than before. Okay, well, that's something to look forward to. This guy's same mustache. Yeah, what's wrong with this guy? What did he do? Oh, hey. Not at all bothered by Kokomi's eyes. So many people I've noticed talk about Kokomi having fish eyes or dead eyes, and I don't quite see that. Don't know why. I see that her pupils are kind of lacking and different from most characters, but I don't see it as kind of dead or fish. Even though it is amusing that she's a mermaid character. She's got fish eyes. Yeah, you don't jump cancel. Oh yeah, but you also have her built really well, right? I guess with all the pyro characters I have, I'll be forced to. If I end up pulling Hutao, I might have to spend some more time in the Crimson Witch domain. And I might not have a proper set for every single character. I might just have to swap in and out, because how often would I be running 4 different Pyro DPSs? In the Abyss, I wouldn't run 4 different Pyro DPSs, 2 at most, right? So, yeah, I guess I'd only really need 2 sets. Yeah, her dress, the more I look at her dress, the more I like it. And the more I look at her hair and overall design too, the more I like it. And Kokomi as well, just like characters before her, like Raiden and Eula, has thigh highs with distinctive shapes for the Absolute's territory. Because all 3 of them have non-standard shapes for their absolute territory, which I appreciate. You know, I think there's a good look to the classic, which I think Amber has more of a classic. No, Amber has a kind of a more shapely one, doesn't she? I actually don't remember. But there are. Oh, what's her name? Sucrose has a kind of a more classic one. Whereas, yeah, a lot of characters have kind of their own shapes, and yeah, like I said, I like how Mihoyo goes the extra mile with that. They're not happy enough to leave it completely plain. Yeah, I do remember that I have Clay, and I haven't used her in so long because I haven't really used her for or I haven't really needed to chase down the Mondstadt materials, because she's good for being a radar for that. And she's level 39 still. I wanted to edge her up to 40 and she still hasn't hit 40. So I'm not going to be able to ascend her yet. In the meanwhile, I had been ascending and leveling up my Zhangling. My Zhangling's level 80 now. I hope to get her to level 90 at some point. But I want to try using her as a Pyro DPS first. I think that'll be fun. That disrespect. Yeah, poor Clay. She's kind of stuck in the. Oh, I should make a timeout corner in my teapot. Oh shit. Yeah, since she's not out like farming and blowing shit up with me, I think she deserves to have a bit of a fun little area in the teapot. I should build that. Child is 90. Okay, nice. Yeah, he's a character I'm glad that I have avoided, but he does look fun to play. I'll admit that. He looks really fun to play. And the few times I have played him, I will say, yeah, I've had fun playing with him. I just don't like him as a character, don't like his design. Don't like his voice. It's just, yeah. I just, yeah. Don't think I'd really enjoy having him. And investing into him, spending my precious resin on him, even though, again, he looks fun to play. 969, oh, nice. Zhangling Burst. Oh, sweet. Level 11. Yeah, I figure I might crown Zhangling's Burst if I build her. Because for her, the burst is, that's her thing, right? That's what she uses for her damage. In the meanwhile, I think I'll leave her E at like level 6. Yeah. I was thinking of leaving her E just at level 4. Or maybe even 2, but I figured I should raise it. Just for that extra little bit of passive damage. Yeah, I heard that Zhangling... Or, yeah, I remember when earlier on in the game, Zhangling was considered good, a very good DPS even, but not like an amazing one. And then recently, over the past couple of months, I feel like I've started hearing that, no, Zhangling isn't just good, she is great. She is one of the top pyro DPSs, apparently. And that's saying something. And so I figured I should at least try her out, because I have a decent amount of constellations on her now. And, yeah, she's not that high investment, and I have a decent amount of artifacts that I could swap in on her. But in the meanwhile, I'm still farming Emblem or Beta. Because I will say, out of all the DPSs, I feel like I do enjoy Ganyu's playstyle a lot, but among all the melee, I think Beto's playstyle is absolutely my favorite. Yeah, Child plus Zhangling, I heard that's fantastic. I heard that called the reverse vaporize. I mean, to me, vaporize is vaporize, but ultimately, yeah, it's Hydro on, yeah, Hydro up, constant application on Pyro. I figure I do want to build her DPS, but that'll take a while. But actually, so I have 3, 4. How many constellations do I have of Zhangling? Yeah, so I'd love to get more constellations of her. I'm gonna lay. Wow, that's pretty solid. She could actually be a decent support for Yoimiya. Because you get the 25% resonance damage bonus. Okay. And you also get the that extra 15% higher damage bonus. But I feel like usually you see Zhangling with Bennett because you can snapshot the burst, and that's a really powerful feature in taking the most advantage you can out of his burst, basically. Maximize the time you get out of it. Let's this. Yeah. Rosaria C4 and Yanfei C2. Interesting, Yanfei, okay. Oh. Yeah, Yanfei's another pyro DPS I have. One I wouldn't really want. I wanted to like Yanfei. Maybe in time I will. But still feeling negative about Catalyst DPSs. Your favorites are Child and Huta. Nice. Yeah, those definitely look fun. Yeah, the Beto, I really want to make Beto work. because I love her counters. I think her counters... Huh, they decided to use a literal chess metaphor in the English dub. I wonder what they said in the original Chinese, because I'm not sure if chess exists in Teyvat. And I don't think they would use a chess metaphor in the original Chinese. Kokomi looks nice to play for Catalyst. Well, I will say her trial quest wasn't bad. Not at all. It went over pretty quickly, but her animations are really pretty. Yeah, very pretty. I've noticed that from streams and everything, just playing her. Just... she's really not, I don't know, she's not waifu. There's something, like, I find more attractive about someone like, even... You know, obviously Jean's my waifu in Genshin, but even someone like, Ganyu. I think Ganyu is, like, really beautiful, like, particularly. And Kokomi's pretty, and also, like, Ball's beautiful, Eula's beautiful. There are certain 5 stars that I'd say, like, are really just gorgeous. And Kokomi's really pretty, but it's hard to say, like, the same thing about her, or feel the same way, even though I love her design. Hydra buff they could give, yeah. I wonder, what if they gave it, like, an elemental mastery buff? It would be limited, but it would at least allow you to activate more damage. Well, no. No, you wouldn't want that, right? Because for Pyro, yeah, for Vaporize, it's not affected by EM. Yeah, scratch that. That's not it. I thought, so... Yeah, Yae is, like, also in that, like, really gorgeous category that I'd love to get. Yoimiya too, I would say, she's not necessarily what I'd call... Oh yeah, gorgeous fits her, but she's, like, kind of... She's hot. And that's... I don't mean that in a punny way, but even though I do mean that in a punny way as well. But she's really... Yeah, just... I think it's her personality that really does shine out a lot, right? She's so fun, vibrant. Oh, nice. So we get to play as her here. But with Kokomi, like I said, just... Oof, her dress is so beautiful, right? Just so gorgeous. Her hair, very nice. Her eyes, again, I like them. I like them a lot. But, yeah, I can't really bring myself to really want her. And since she's not like a broken character, probably not all that worth either. Okay, so can do that. Here, I'd actually love to use Yoimiya's burst here. That might be fun to use with Kokomi. Let's use his burst. Perfect girlfriend Yoimiya? I don't know. I don't know about perfect. Should be a good one. But it might be a dangerous kind of thing being her boyfriend. In a fun way, no doubt, but also just, you know, you want to keep all your fingers and you want to keep your hearing. I want to keep my hearing anyway. Ooh, oh right, if you use her burst, she can actually walk on water, right? Let's see if we can actually try to activate that. Use this. Alright. Okay. Alright, so now let's use her burst. And ooh, Jesus! Nice. So, oh, and he decided to chase me into the water. So how far can I even go on this? Okay, so roughly that. Dangerous supposed. Yeah, I mean, Hutao's next level, right? Yoimiya, you might, yeah, like I said, lose some hearing, maybe lose a finger, maybe a limb if you're really unlucky. But ultimately, you're not quite expecting to pay the ultimate price. With Hutao, that might be her thing for all you know. That might be what she gets off on. You know, she might take you down. You know, she's seducing you, take you down to her. I don't know. I mean, whoa, this guy has a super low voice. What the fuck? I never heard that, or I can't remember hearing that before. Jesus, that was surprising. But yeah, I wonder if she has a basement under Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. She invites men over, and you know, you don't ever hear from them again. But extra coffins show up at the funeral parlor, and the men always, and those they always seem to have the biggest smiles on their faces, like, and also evidence of scorches and crushed bones in their pelvises. I think that might just keep showing up. But, like I said, they always universally have the biggest, widest smiles on their faces. Beta could break, yeah, easily. I think that could, yeah, that'd be her thing with her thighs, easily. Easily, she could just squeeze a little. I mean, you've seen them. You could. She's got some nice Zeta Ryoki, actually. Now that I think about it, she's got. Yeah, she could easily break our bones. Just that. Alright, so now we're looking around the camp. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we just need to pick these things up. Because, oh, can we talk to her here actually? Her neck looks a little funny because of how, yeah, how short Sayu is. And Yoimi is around the same height, huh, as Kokomi. I think they might be the same height. Whatever difference might just be due to the shoes. Like how Sarah is quite a bit taller than most women just from her shoes. And Ganyu seems roughly the same height. Yeah, again, just from the shoes. But she's got this, she's always looking down, huh? Zhongli is the tallest, and when he's there, she's almost looking at his chest more so than his eyes. Huh. Anyway, let's pick up these stuff and continue the story. This, I think it's an artifact? Nice. Making materials. So was this merchant selling stuff or something to this guy? For these Fatu or something? Kokomi! So she was just lost in thought? I don't remember who Kokomi's voice actress is. She sounds nice though, the Japanese one. Stolen Goods. Should have Albedo Ganyu Hutao Zhao rerun before Yula and Kazuha. Oh, yeah, you mean if they keep an order, basically, of the characters? Yeah, or at least, roughly. I wonder when they'll rerun Albedo. I imagine he's probably one of the lowest priorities. Because I think he didn't make that much money. I don't remember looking at him on the graph. So she said price ceilings, something. Who knows? That can sometimes backfire. economics is like really complicated. That kind of shit can make things way worse than they are. I don't know how things are here. I'm hoping Kokomi is knowledgeable enough in everything that she's taking care here. I just have to trust here. Albedo and Goro. Oh yeah, the boys. I guess that's one I'd skip then, because ideally I feel like I would like to skip Goro's banner. I just have very little interest in him. But then again, at this point, I don't need that many 4-stars, so any new 4-star would be pretty neat. But Albedo, again, might be neat to get, but at the end of the day, he's definitely not waifu, and waifu is waifu when it comes to Genshin Impact, so I don't think I can spare the primos. But then again, who knows how many primos I'll have at that point, right? Oh, is this a good effect spot? Ooh, so much. Oh. Alright, yeah, Loach Pro, nice. And are these artifacts? Ooh, so yeah, this is an artifact spot, huh? And I guess it does look like I have it marked on my map. I just must have forgotten about it. Yeah, I need to keep farming my artifacts. I figured I need to get to the point where I'm now basically at level 20 for all my artifacts for all my main Abyss characters, because I haven't done that yet, and I really should, because even the mediocre artifacts that I have, you know, the main reason I haven't level 20'd so many is because I just haven't had that many great artifacts that seem worth. But if they're mediocre, if they have a good main stat, taking them up to level 20 does make a huge difference usually in how effective your character is. So I figure I need to do that. So, and then start building, yeah, more characters on top of that. Right. Let's go Mimori. Ooh. Yeah, first time I've heard that name too. Like I said, I like it though. It's nice. Very... It fits her. It's soft, feminine, girlish, yeah. Sounds young, which she's supposed to be. It sounds somewhat formal to me, which I think, yeah, works for her. Oh god. Yeah, I think I'd enjoy if she reprimanded me like this, with that voice. I think I'd enjoy that quite a lot. She could look down at me, like she did earlier. Yeah. Oh, another crime, huh? He looks so downtrodden, poor guy, but I mean, I guess he was breaking the law. This just seems like a weird law. Still do not understand why. Well, you don't understand? Look at her. I don't blame anyone for liking her. I like her. Her hair looks so nice. I love the way it flows. Just a little bit. Mihoyo is just such next level, I feel, when it comes to these animations. The idol ones in particular. Maybe not next level, that might be over selling it, but it's very good. Just how they have that little touch that make them quite nice, gorgeous, beautiful, but they don't ever seem to overdo it, because it's really easy to overdo it in something like this. They put just the enough touch to give it a nice feel without without overdoing it. I don't know how they keep nailing that bullseye, but they do it, and I feel like they've done it with Kokomi's animations here. The new Hydro, yeah, I agree, and I guess it's kind of a shame that Kokomi didn't end up being the Hydro Jesus. Ironically enough, she did not be she was not the second coming of Hydro, or she did not redeem Hydro, save our Hydro souls, even though she can walk on water. She ended up being, I guess, again, I don't know this firsthand at all, but from everything I've read and heard, she ended up being a pretty decent generalist, which maybe fits her character pretty well, huh? Because she's supposed to be a master tactician, right? So she can be a decent character to slot into a lot of different teams, even if she's not a fantastic character to slot into any team. Ooh, can we walk with her now? Another Hydro DPS would be nice. I agree. I wonder if MiHoYo feels like they have to be very careful with how they build, how they release and design Hydro DPS characters, just because the potential for damage with Hydro can be so high. But then again, it's not like that stopped them from releasing Ganyu or Eula in the past, right? So, I don't know, just what, you know, I guess Child is that one busted Hydro DPS, but another one or two, even if they're not as busted, would be nice. Who draws often, does the same thing. Complex with a lot of detail, never seem overloaded and pleasant to watch. Okay, yeah. I definitely agree with that notion. Yeah, I don't draw, but... And to be honest, I don't pay close enough attention to these characters' costumes, but every time I do, I feel like I end up really enjoying it and appreciating MiHoYo even more.
その頃より渡積島と幕府の関係は微妙なものとなり、互いの偏見はより深まっていきました。今回の和平交渉において、私もこの問題を天領奉行ときちんと話し合いするつもりでした。怨嗟というのはいつか必ず解決しなければならないものですので。
Sure, this seems like a pretty complex political issue, which I guess at the end of the day, a lot of these, and most of these character quests seem to be just a day in the life, right? Just we spend a day seeing what they're up to. That seems to be their thing. Also, I see that in the background that there's a watch point or whatever those things are called that I need to activate. Should try to remember to do that.
おいおい、いい加減にしろって。いつの時代の話をしてるんだ。
それはもちろんわかる。じゃが、
安心してください。このことは再度考え、最
I
善を
also
尽くし
love
ます
the
ので。
Hime cut. Not gonna lie, I actually really like the Hime cut. And I think I like Kokomi's version better than I like Ayaka's version when it comes to that. Kokomi's version kind of reminds me of Nadeko, Sengoku Nadeko from Bakemonogatari. There's a bit of a similarity to that. Yeah, which I kind of like.
あら、三宮様?
You like came out of nowhere. Yeah, and she's your favorite kid. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, right? They could easily pull a wife out of their bag. I mean, Yoimiya, she's not... I don't love her as much as Jean, but there's a reason I was just really... I didn't care how bad or good she was. I just really wanted to get her, even more so than Raiden. So, like, she kind of came out of nowhere. And
あの子が
yeah, I'm
産後
sure
の
there are
宮に
more
なればこの
waifus that are
先も
gonna
安心で
come out
す
of nowhere
産後の
and
宮様
surprise
はお
us.
優しいのできっとよくしてくれますから、
うん
機会があれば産後の宮様にご教授しても
Shiori.
らいなさいっていつも娘に言ってるんですが、
I like her voice.
ほら産後の宮様ってお若いのにすでに人との接し方を心得ていて聡明でいらっしゃるでしょ。
Kinda milfish, not gonna lie, with her voice.
産後の宮様をお手本にしているんですよ。
Wouldn't mind hearing her say ara
彼女
ara.
が産後
Yeah.
宮に入った時は気にかけておきますね。
産後
Wait,
の
what are
皆
these
様
people?
やっと会えました。今年の農作物の生産量が減少した問題について。
産後宮様、こちらはメカジキ2番隊の隊長ですよね。彼女はこれからも渡積島に残るのでしょうか。
She seems excited to see me.
産後の宮様、
Primo's during Venti. Yeah. Yeah, it turned out Eula was busted, right? Which is pretty great. She wasn't just good. She's one of the top 2 or 3 DPSs in the game right now. Which is pretty awesome. I like the fact that they made a physical DPS character into one of the top ones. I feel like Melt and Vaporize tends to be king. So the fact that with just blunt physical instrument, they just had her not, yeah, kind of unga bunga over the vaporized melt stuff. And damn, her thighs, man, her thighs, her absolute territory is just absolutely, you know? I'm not sure how better to put it, it's just fantastic. Like, I feel like Raiden's is very good. I'm not sure whose is better, Eula or Raiden's, but they're both really like top level. You know, we're talking triple S rank here, not just S. For both of them. C3 for the... Yeah, she's all about her burst, right? You want to stack a bunch of stuff with her E or something, and then you use her burst, and then she gets a whole bunch of damage buff or whatever for some time.
遠くからいらしたお二方がすでに産後宮様をお待ちしております。わかりました。今日はあなたに渡積島を紹介しようと
I've
思ったので
noticed
すが、
over the month that Genshin Impact, I've come to enjoy Claymore users more and sword users less. I think at first I really enjoyed the speed of the sword users, like Keqing primarily, but I'm also thinking of a character like Chi-Chi. When I got her, I thought she was kind of a fun sword user, like damage-wise. But as I've learned the game more and more, I feel like I've got more comfortable using a slower character like a Claymore user, and I think some of the most fun characters in the game are Claymore users. Yeah. Like Beto or D-Look. And I imagine Eula's in that category as well. She looks really fun to play. And not gonna lie, Chongyun's pretty solid, even though, like, I started using him early on, and I can't say I enjoyed him that much. I thought he was overall quite solid. So, until between 10 and 12 the next day. Let's see if we can do this. Alright. Good. Wait. It's not here? Oh. It's not far. There's a bridge. They built it. Why don't we use it? Yeah, I could try getting Eula during her rerun. I could try for her, depending on the case. I feel like her rerun is still a ways away, so who knows what other banners will be around then, and how many primos I'll have saved up, and everything. But if it looks like I have the opportunity, Eula, I think, will be... Yeah, someone at least... Oh, no! Oh! Okay, I thought that was going to be a big drop, and I realized I was out of stamina. But yeah, I feel like Eula would be a good one to try to get. See, to reduce the cooldown of her charged E, Oh, right, it equalizes the cooldowns, right? For her charge E and her regular E? I think that's what I read. Which seems pretty solid. That's like... Can you imagine doing that for... Oh, it's such a shame Diona doesn't have that. Can you imagine doing that for Diona? In that case, once you get that constellation, you would only ever use her charge E, obviously, right? Because then you can overlap her... Oh, yeah, overlap her shield timer. That's one thing I'd give her if I were buffing Diona. It'd be a very basic thing, but it would just make her do that shielding way better. You're able to do 100k with charging. Wow. Oh, so does her E benefit from her burst or something? So you use her E to do a lot of damage, huh? So yeah, I imagine she also goes fantastic with Raiden, right? You get that energy recharge for Eula, who needs it, I heard. Yeah, she has issues with ER if you don't build her with it really in mind. And Raiden really provides a lot of that. And obviously you get the superconduct between them. If far come to see me, and should my whereabouts be unknown, direct them to proceed southward until they arrive at a tree with purple foliage. Alright, so I want to go southward. Oh, come on, it's actually even just telling me? Okay. I was hoping that they'd... Because they highlighted the message. I thought, oh, this is neat. They want me to actually explore the territory. Look around. Look at different directions and find this purple foliage tree. But the game decided we can't trust the players to figure that one out. And to be fair, who knows how long I would have taken if the game didn't point it out. But yeah, I feel like, come on, game. You could have given me a shot. And I should probably grab a drink. My voice is cracking. Okay, so this is the designated place. I don't know if this is related to it. I'm guessing it's not. It might just be another Electrosealy. But this is the designated place. Did the time run out while... It might have, yeah. Okay. Plus 30% physical damage with their charge E. Oh, I see. Okay, well... 10 and 12. Is it below? No. Well, maybe I needed the guide because I'm at the tree. But oh, it wanted me to go. Oh, neat! He has a little hideout. That's so cool. I'd love to have a thing like that. It's a secret base, like in that show. God, I can't even remember the name of that show. It's about a girl who died when she was a kid, and about her group of friends who are now meeting up or something after like 5 years. They're in high school or something now. It's like a lot of melodrama and not all that great in my opinion, but some people love that shit. And I guess it, you know, it appeals to some people, just not my thing. But they had a secret base that they would hang out at, these 6 friends. And I believe the name of the opening or the ending song was called Secret Base, something like that. I think she meant a little more metaphorical. Yeah. Seems to be the theme a lot of the female characters in this game. They're hard workers or overworked. You see that with Jean and Ganyu, and parts of that with even Kaching, a little bit of that with Ningguang, maybe not so much, but It's definitely a little bit with Kaching, and now we see it with Kokomi. They all have these characters be
私は人の上に立つのがあまり
very
得意ではない
hard
のです
workers who are
もともと
often
私
pushing
は
themselves just a
兵
little
学
too
を
hard.
学んで幕僚になるのが夢でした他人と会話し気を配り
Yeah,
顔
great.
色を
Yeah,
伺い
that's true.
利益を分配する
I just wonder if it's
私にと
purposeful.
っ
It just
て
seems
ど
odd
れ
that.
も非
I
常
mean, I
に
guess you
大
have
変
the
なこと
lazy
です
characters too, like Sayu. And ultimately, when it comes to heroic characters that are going
他
to
の
be
人を
playable
満足さ
characters
せ
in a
る
game
だけ
like
でなく
this, they're generally
彼
going to
ら
be
に野
hard
球の
workers,
念を
right?
抱かせるの
But I
は
feel like they keep
私の
dipping into
得
the
意分野
same
ではありま
well
せんむ
of
しろ
these
か
people
つ
who
ての
just
私が関わりを持ちたくなか
exhaust
った分野な
themselves.
のです
It's not a bad story at all, but I don't need to see it over and over
しか
again,
し
I guess. Yeah.
血筋のせいで荒人神の巫女の地位は結局私のもとにやってきまし
I
た
wonder if there's a pattern for men too there. And when I think of the men, you got D-Look, who's a kind of a hard worker. Maybe a little bit of a...
自分に限界が来た時
He's off in the head. It takes somebody who's a little off in the head to do vigilante
経験
justice,
して
especially when you're that rich.
仕事には影響しませんのでご心配なく
But ultimately, he's a major. He's an alpha, right? He's a major like badass, and he takes action where he believes it's necessary. And Keiya, he's kind of more of a goofball, but I guess he's also very competent for what he
今夜はまだ
does.
演説が一つ残っています
But he doesn't overwork
兵士たちに
himself,
良くない
certainly
印象を
not.
与えるわ
I
けに
guess you
は
also
い
have
きません
Lisa, who is very
やっ
much
と
a
のことで
lazy.
勝ち取った平和彼らにはもっと息抜きをしてほしいのです
You know, Zuma Arara One-san. Well, I feel like for me, Ball fits the Arara One-san very well. First of all, she is nothing if not an One-san to anyone, right? If anything, One-san is underselling it. She is way older than any of us. And second, she just, I feel like, exudes that Ara-Ara, maybe not the Ara-Ara energy, but she's the kind of woman who will step on you, eat gladly. So, yeah, and she is literally the top dog. Well, not literally, but she is the top dog in Inazuma. She is the leader, and she makes it known. She's not like, yeah, they make the it's funny, the first two archons that we meet are kind of characters who have decided to abdicate their position. They decided to leave humans to their own devices. Ball is like the complete opposite. She leads with an iron fist. She rules with an iron fist. And that I mean, that can be very One-san, right? Ball is Ningguang tier. Yeah, I could see that, definitely. They're almost perfect, yeah. Yeah, Ball is great. Like, speaking of great designs, Ball, I mean, I've already said her absolute territory is easily S and could be triple S. And the rest of her design too is fantastic. And her voice, Miyuki Sawashiro, is... I guess I don't really associate her voice with Ara, but I feel like she could pull it off very well. Yeah, she could, if she chose to. And out of any character that Miyuki Sawashiro's done, I would say Ball it definitely sounds the most Ara One-san than any other that I can think of. But then again, I haven't watched a lot of anime at all in recent years, so she might have done others. Oh well, what's this? Energy negative. Oh, she counts her own energy in her diary? That seems a little obsessive. Yeah, I don't know, that seems a little off to me. But then again, maybe it's a good habit, actually. Yeah, I think that's pretty neat. Yeah. That she decided to keep a diary like that. That way you keep track of stuff, and maybe you can improve. We'll have could be husbando since we had some. Yeah, I wouldn't blame them if they decided to do that. We did have a long run of mostly 5-star males for a while, right? And now we've had a decent run of 5-star females. So it would make sense for another shift. It's one thing about Genshin, or MiHoYo's generally done, I feel, where they, at any given moment, they seem to overload on one particular thing. Like giving away a free Diona while she's on the banner. I think she was on the banner. Or giving away a free Beto, I think, while she's in the shop. Putting a ton of male 5-stars on banner for in a row, and now putting a ton of female in a row. Having a bunch of, I don't know, like pyro DPSs, was it? With, well, we had 2 pyro DPSs at least early on with Clay and Hutao, but yeah, they were pretty far apart. Ganyu and Eula were much closer together, right? Also, a lot of polearm users early on. Zhongli, Hutao, and Zhao. So it's like they really seem to enjoy overloading on one particular thing at any given time. Did you? Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Well, right now you have a guarantee, right? So you don't need to rely on luck. One of your next 10 pulls is going to be the banner 5-star. Oh yeah, Zhongli, Albedo, Gio, you're right. They did. And around the same time, didn't... Oh, Ningguang was always available from day 1, right? I think she was a day 1 character. But I think she might have had a banner around the time. Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice her eyelashes until now. That's super adorable. I like that quite a bit. I wouldn't mind seeing her sleeping face. That's very, very pleasant. Put her resto. Yeah, what's that song from Armageddon? I don't wanna close my eyes. I don't wanna fall asleep, cause I miss you, babe. And I don't wanna miss a thing. I guess I always think about that when I see this whole, like, sleeping face thing. Cause in anime, they often seem to, like, fetishize almost seeing a pretty sleeping face. Right? And I guess I'm not quite up to that level. I enjoy a pretty sleeping face like anyone, but... And I think Kokomi's is quite cute. That's what she said. Well, she... Wait, what's that? Oh, nice. At first, from afar, I thought that was a Bart Simpson emote, and I was like, what? They have that in... in, Twitch? The ball banner. C5 Sarah. Oh! Okay, nice. Well, C5 Sarah's pretty good. I hope you get her C6 on a spook soon. That way, you'll be giving your ball a 60% crit damage buff, right? Which is actually, man. Every time I look at that or remember that number, 60%, I'm just like, what the fuck? That is so damn high. 60%. That takes you from like 200 to 260, right? Or 150 to 210. It takes you from good to great or great to busted. Just yeah. And for Beto, absolutely. If I got Sarah C6, unfortunately, my Sarah I don't think is anywhere near C6. C1, yeah. So still a ways to go. Okay, go to the victory feast. Yeah, having played Sarah a bit, I'm definitely not gonna build her anytime soon. I think she's fun to play, actually. Even if she's not exactly the most efficient compared to someone like Bennett. Hey, who's that little kid jumping up and down? But I imagine having an extra constellation for her would be super nice right now for me, because that would allow me to get her buff from just her E without having to do a charge shot right after. Oh, it's got a little kids. Oh, that's nice. I like bonfires. Then again, who doesn't? But yeah, C2. And C6, of course, yeah, would provide that massive, massive crit damage buff.
どうやら祝賀会の準備もそろそろ終わるようですね。しかし、宴が始まる
But
前
of course, you still have to make it work, right? You have to actually hit them, I think, with your electro attack first. And I think the debuff doesn't last that long. So, because I think it's a debuff on the enemy rather than a buff on yourself.
あなたたちのおかげでエネルギーがとても早く回復しました。
It's not like it's a permanent 60%, but, you know, even so, if you can use it properly, yeah, it's quite huge. But I like the overall playstyle of her switching her in, using her E or something, or her burst, getting that 6 seconds of buff, switching out. The only thing is, going 6 seconds at a time roughly, it's so short, and it doesn't match with someone like Yoimiya who has a longer time on her attacks. So I feel like it has its issues. Almost the strongest C6. Yeah, I could see that. I think Bennett's is the strongest C6. It's so strong that people are afraid to use it. It makes them tremble at the thought of putting that 6th constellation on Bennett. It's, you might say, he makes you burn everything down. You do that. Okay, so we got Kokomi here giving a speech. She's learning to lead, which is pretty neat.
人は楽しい気持ちになると誰かに打ち明けたいという気持ちが高まる傾向にあるようです。
Ooh, am I playing like a little birdie for you? Basically? A spy, so to speak? 決め手となる証拠、明日の交渉で何か起きないか心配なのです。わかった。オイラたちが調査してくるぜ。 Okay. Wonder. Ooh, yeah, that works. The Saya's not. That's. I mean, I guess ultimately, Mihoyo didn't. It makes sense they wouldn't devote any time to this, but characters don't at all respond to swirls of elements being around them, like fire. Can you imagine if they made it so that doing this would cook the fish? That would be quite something. Yeah, thank you for coming by, Nat. Appreciate it as always. It's super late, I know, so get your sleep. I think that's way more important. So, you should do that.
俺たちにとって一番の出来事といえば、海に出て魚を取れるようになったことかな。戦争をしてた時は海上に戦線がたくさんあったから、近くで小魚やエビを取ることしかできなかった。収穫がほとんどない時もあって、みんな腹を空かせてたよ。毎晩腹がうめき声を上げ、眠ることもできず。聞いたよ。
So he's got a tough past.
隊長なんだってな。この戦いに。いいんだ。君がいなかったら。
So he seems pretty happy with everything. Yeah, I'm sure that's the general like thing we're gonna get. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Kokomi's doing such a great job."
天領奉行とファデュイが結託しても兵士たちがそわそわしているのは私もここ最近あの人なんだかおかしいのよ。大きな声を張り上げながら長い。
Isn't he a soldier? Kind of looks like he's dressed like a soldier.
私が知ってるのはこれだけよ。やっと
手がかりを。Alright, so this is like a commission now. Yeah. I probably won't be streaming too much longer, actually, but maybe another 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the case, because it is getting late-ish for me too, and I do have work tomorrow. The nice thing is my work is from home tomorrow, so I can sleep in a little more. But I don't go to bed immediately after streaming or anything usually, so probably gonna late stream. Is it? I guess it kind of is. Yeah, I have work this week at late, so haven't been streaming. But today I decided to just spare a little bit of time. I've only been streaming for about an hour and a half now, and I probably won't stream longer than another 30 minutes at this point. But I figured I wanted to try to do some of the Kokomi story on stream, and I'm hoping maybe I could get through the whole thing just in one sitting, because this is, to be honest, kind of a drag. But the Kokomi scenes are nice, at least. So, okay, so... Ooh, nice! We get... I had it set to Electro. So using her first. Ooh. As yeah, I thought maybe I'd have time to get to the Abyss, but it's looking like the story quest is too long to get to the Abyss today. I might do that tomorrow. Yeah, well, early on in the game, way back before I hit AR, I guess by the time I was around AR 45, I started switching to a different character. I think around that, I don't remember. But way before 55, that's for sure. I was using the Traveler as my main damage dealer. I thought using her Animo Swirl was the bomb, and I was having so much fun with it. But as you keep scaling up the level and you keep facing tougher and tougher enemies, unfortunately, she dropped off quite a bit, and I didn't feel like investing more into her because I felt that with the new elements requiring different, different, like more talent books and shit, just didn't seem worth it. And plus, I already had Sucrose, because Sucrose was actually my very first gacha pull. But yeah, Anima Traveler is pretty solid. I'll give her that. And with 4-piece Viridescent, I imagine she could be a decent support. But, like, the fact that she sends enemies flying away from you ended up kind of being an issue. And, like I said, Sucrose was literally the first gacha serve character I pulled, even before Noelle, on Noelle's banner. On Noelle's banner, my first 10 pull before the guaranteed Noelle was a Sucrose. So, you just build Lisa. Oh, nice. I mean, I know that she can be really solid. How'd you build her, DPS or support? Because I know she can do both. I think she can be a very solid support in a lot of teams. I imagine she could go well with someone like Ball, double Electro. Or somebody to do Superconduct. Oh, Yaimiko artifacts. Okay. I respect that. If and when Yaimiko releases, I think there's a high chance I'll be pulling her. So, do you even know how to build Yai? Because I actually have no idea. I don't know what she's gonna be like at all. I don't know if she's a damage dealer, I don't know if she's a support, I don't know. Obviously she's Electro, I know that much, and I think you said she's got Pyro as well? Oh, you have C5 Lisa? Wow! That is... I'm very jealous. I'm very jealous. Good for you. Did you buy her from the shop when she's available? Because I don't think I have, actually. But anytime you have a lot of constellations on a story lock character, I think that's a very good thing. It's supposed to be electro damage ceiling? Oh, really? You think or the word on the street is that she's gonna be the electro? Well, I think based on what we've seen in the shop, Lisa's probably coming back, right? I feel like they keep going on a cycle. And there's some characters who just never get in the shop, and other characters who just keep coming back. So, you'll have the chance, I think. But then again, they might switch things up after the new year, who knows. Speaking of which, I do wonder if they will improve the rewards at all. Because I feel like even if they did that, it would kind of look almost pathetic. But at the same time, it would be way better than not doing it, I guess. But it would feel like they were responding, even if, let's say from day one, the entire plan was that they would surprise us on the anniversary with a huge reward. Even if that was in the plans from day one, it's still gonna look like they're responding to criticism. But this might be the type of criticism they should respond to. Oh, Pyro thing was a bad rumor? Okay. That doesn't surprise me too much. That would have been my first response as well. It feels like that would be the first case of a character that's really two elements. Even Child wasn't two elements, even though his character is, or his enemy is in the game. Right, they don't have to beta test rewards. Yeah, it's just... And yeah, I said this earlier on stream, but it's just so bizarre to me that they would put as rewards, quote unquote, a contest and also a gacha prize. It's like these are two things where one is you're asking us to just advertise for you, and two is gacha. These are two of the worst ways to give out prizes for anniversary. It's like, you know, if they just given, say, 5 pulls or something, that would be disappointing, but it almost feels like it would be better because it's not like they're trying to manipulate us into, again, advertising for them or play this RNG lottery. Everyone gets a free start, hey! That's true. It's not in a week, right? It's in 3 weeks. For me, anyway, like, I figure I probably could've. Or do you mean a week after anniversary? I guess that's, yeah, that's probably true, yeah. Something like that. A month? Well, we're gonna get it after Kokomi's banner ends, I'm pretty sure, because that's when the new update will land. But we'll get Aloy, right? And a lot of PS4 players already have Aloy. And I heard that Aloy was decent enough burst damage dealer. That she had a pretty solid burst with a low energy cost. So... yeah. I heard that, and actually, I'm pretty sure we can actually check this in the game, but maybe not in the game. But that Aloy is coming out in the next update. Basically, if you don't play PS4, you're one update behind when it comes to getting Aloy. So they got Aloy, PS4 got Aloy on this update, so everyone else gets Aloy on the next update. That was my understanding, and I do believe I read official, like, stuff to that effect. But I don't have it right now, just on hand. Bargain bin Ganyu, yeah, that's sort of what I heard. She's Bargain bin Ganyu. Yeah. Which, if you don't have Ganyu, hey, Bargain bin version ain't bad. It's like, Cryo DPS Archer can pair pretty well with what's her name? Diona, right? Another Cryo Archer. Whenever you have that, you get that double Cryo Resonance. 15% extra crit rate, pretty solid. 187 possible outcomes. This is like Doctor Strange with his, however many was it, like 3 million or something? I don't even remember the number. Straight to the garbage? Oh, yeah. I'd really respect that, yeah, if you burned her or used her as fodder. Feed her to someone. If you don't have them, you know, max leveled already. yesterday I watched a VTuber named Hina Melina, and she decided to do just a wow, her eyes are huge. Oh, and I can see the stars in her eyes. I'm not sure if I noticed that before. I knew you could see the stars in her wings. It's cool. But anyway, she decided to do a few pulls on the weapon banner because she really wanted the Jade Cutter. Literally her first pull, she gets the not the Jade Cutter, but the other one, and she does not want Kokomi. So that weapon's useless. So I kept trying to get her to use it as fodder. At the end of the day, she decided not to. But I think it'll be... I just have massive respect for anyone who decides to do anything like that. Oh, you can't feed units in this game, okay.
Sweet voice, Barbara-sama.
I didn't realize that. Ooh, okay. And yeah, Barbara-sama, her sweet voice. It's quite nice. But congrats on Jade Cutter if you got it, yeah. It seems like an absolutely crazy busted weapon. God damn, 44% crit rate at max level? What the fuck? That means by default your character has 49% because they have 5% crit rate naturally. And I don't know if any sword users have native crit rate, but if they do, that would probably give another, what, 10-20%? So that'll be just 70% or something to start out. But you can easily get another 10-20% off of 5 mediocre artifacts. Easily. So you can easily build somebody with 60-70% crit rate and still have a lot of room for building a lot of crit damage, ER, attack, whatever you need. Yeah, you're using it on Kaching? Nice. Yeah, Kaching's pretty solid in terms of all that, right? She's got 15% crit rate buff whenever you use her burst. So just from the Jade Cutter and that, and her default 5%, you're looking at 64% crit rate. And then you add on the artifacts. It's the only one you have there. Well, what about Jean? Jean can use it, right? If you're using her as a DPS, or yeah, or a sub DPS. But goddamn, Kaching. That again, that is 64% crit rate before you attack on any artifacts. Kazuha got Scoured Blade. Oh, that makes sense. And Traveler is using physical damage. Okay, yeah, that also makes sense given how she plays. Depending on... And Jean's also using physical? Okay, yeah. I guess physical is probably... I mean, that's a fine way to go for both of them, right? Jean, I figured if I get her... I'm not sure how I'll build her. I feel like I might try going with Viridescent at first. But then again, I have some decent physical... I have some decent physical swords. Not a 5-star one. And I have some decent physical artifacts that I could put on her. Not great ones. But I know that she can just be a killer support with Viridescent and ER. Too glad to Maiden. Ooh, interesting, to Maiden. Okay, so she's just healing you super well. Nice. I feel like that's the kind of thing you can also do with Chi-Chi, right? So, yeah, imagine with... So Jean auto-heals everyone, I think, whenever you hit with her. Just like, no matter what. You don't need to activate her E or anything like that, I think. It's just every hit heals. So, I think with the healing buff, that means she's just super healing whenever you're using her. Chi-Chi 4-piece Maiden, okay. So I imagine you want a lot of ER on her then, right? Because with 4-piece Maiden, it's all about using her burst to heal. Because I believe the 4-piece maiden effect is that using burst increases the healing of characters. So unless you're bursting, you're unfortunately not able to take. Yeah, imagine that Chi-Chi also heals like nuts then. Because Chi-Chi's a great healer to begin with. Oh, Sack Sword, nice. I need the Sack Sword. I mean, I would love to have Sack Sword on my Chi-Chi, but if I had a Sack Sword, I'd definitely give it to my Jingchu. He can use it way better than Chi-Chi can for my uses. I feel like with Chi-Chi, I might actually go with Favonius for... Well, right now I have her with crit, what is it, the Black Sword. And that's great actually for her soloing, but to be honest, I'm not using her for soloing all that often, and maybe she should be better off with something like Favonius, so she can provide some energy for everyone, not just herself. Also, goddamn, I'm enjoying this, even though I'm barely following what's going on. God, Sarah is so hot, and Kokomi's very pretty too. Every time I see their outfits, gorgeous, and I like the setting too. This whole peace talks. Yeah, Jin seems very versatile. Absolutely, very flexible. That's the sense I get. And like I said, if I get her, maybe at first I'll build her as pure support, just because that means I'd be able to run her in basically any team. And work on getting her built as maybe a physical DPS or something like that, because I want to use her as a DPS at some point, that's for sure. But I also want her to be basically permanently in my team. As close to permanent as I can, anyway. I guess for ore mining... Ooh, her eyes. The way she just looks like she looks into your soul like that. So pretty. Yeah, her pupils are the same color, basically, as the rest of her eyes, right? She's so gorgeous. Her eyes, people talk about her having fish eyes or dead eyes. I don't see it. I think she's lovely. I think her eyes are absolutely just really gorgeous. Whatever weapons. Yeah, I think for Jean, I like either ER weapon or I could put the Black Sword on her and make her like an ultra heal for self. Yeah, I think at first I'll focus on exactly that hybrid heal damage. I feel like I probably won't need too much healing. Especially if I bring along a shielder. Like, maybe Noel's not the right choice with her actually, because Noel can't swirl. Should look into building Jinyan maybe. But yeah, have a little bit of healing and a little bit of support damage. Eyes like the ocean. That's not a bad analogy, yeah, I see that. Oh, come on, is this... I'm glad no one has guns. It might have already been a massacre by now. Okay, Kokomi, this is your time to shine. You're the master tactician. You said you came up with what, 187 scenarios? Is this one of them? Did you figure out a way out? Also, there's something about those gloves. I like them, but the way that they don't cover the back of the hand properly. Yeah, they don't cover the wrist at all, and they don't cover much of the back of the hand. I don't know, I feel like that's maybe a little overdoing it. Just seems a little unnecessary in how much flourish they're giving it. Explanation?
全員、私の調査が終わるまで手を出すな。お前たち二人、こっちに来い。
Sarah is someone I wouldn't mind yelling at me either. Like Kokomi's voice is super nice, but Sarah's isn't quite as nice, but it's also quite forceful. So that wink, that was nice. I can't recall seeing many characters wink in this game. I think I've seen Venti wink. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just art of him that I've seen him wink. I feel like Venti's a character. Maybe Diona too? Let's get through this, come on. I want to listen to the ladies speak. Ooh, consequences.
何がどうあれ、そいつらはファデュイだ。奴らが私たちにしたこと、もう忘れたのか。協力どころか、最初から関わり合いを持つべきではない相手だ。
Yeah, you tell them, Sarah. I think Fatui is always bad news. Stay away from them. Don't let them seduce you with their Mora. Fatui almost seems like Satan or something. They keep making deals with people, seducing them with nice things, but ultimately it ends up harming them and they end up betrayed. They're the good guys, Ola? You think that's where they're gonna go with this? Alright. That's I'll be honest, that's never occurred to me, but when you say that, well, I feel like at the end of the day, there won't be any good guys. If anything. I feel like if it turns out that the Fatui are good guys, it'll only be relatively speaking compared to everyone else. Because so far, they've done shit that doesn't seem all that great. The ends justify the means, good guys? Okay. I'll give that a chance to develop. I'm not... You know, that's not actually completely ridiculous. That's not implausible. I'm not sure how I'd feel about that kind of twist, but then again, it's not... It really depends on the execution quite a bit, more so than what it is. They could probably pull that off pretty well. Give Mihoyo at least credit for being able to pull off good dramatic moments and scenes and set pieces in this game. I would say even from day one. Dvalin was pretty great. Child, pretty great. Signora, fantastic. Love that cutscene. This way the Tsarita has good intentions. I could believe that. I could believe that. I'm still curious about what it'll be like when we meet her. Morally gray characters. Yeah, I agree with that. They're generally... It's very little good versus evil in this game, in this story. There's a lot of mixed motivations. Good people... Mostly good people, some bad people. Mostly people trying to make their lives better, generally. And we have some corrupting influences that causes a lot of trouble, generally, by the name of Fatui, but it's not like everyone else was so great to begin with. Right? But yeah, Child, I could see that being a good example of a good morally gray character in this game. And like Kujo-Sara, for instance, I wouldn't call her morally gray per se, but they mix her loyalties between her side and her own sense of honor, which I find interesting. She literally lets a prisoner free to get medical attention, and it's not like she couldn't have given the prisoner medical attention herself. I'm sure the prison has resources for that, but she decided that what her men did to this prisoner was so egregious that he deserved to go free for a little bit. And that directly betrays her cause in a way, but her own sense of honor is so strong that she would rather do that. Even with, it's not like she was putting on a show either. So yeah, that's kind of a character with mixed loyalties, which I find interesting to watch. And Tartaglia, you know, you see some of that. Oh, she's so pretty. I guess, Yeah, Miko's a little bit too, right? She's got this whole long-time friendship with Bal going. At the same time, she didn't really at all agree with the thing, but she didn't want to interfere directly. At the same time, yeah, like she helps us a lot, actually, right? But she's almost like a chess master, or what is it, marionette puppeteer. Yeah. Which actually, I guess, is not a bad metaphor to use when talking about Inazuma. There's a lot of puppet stuff going on, like Mago Kenki, and of course Ball and A, right? Or A and Raiden Shogun? Is that? I don't even remember her sister's name. What was her twin sister's name? Speaking of which, I haven't seen any Raiden Dojin. Is there any? I wonder if there's any like twincest Dojin with Raiden and her twin sister, right? Something like that. I imagine that's gotta be something somebody is working on. There's probably some fan art on Pixiv of that sort. I'll have to look that up. And did not justify your means. So that's where Kokomi stands.
我々は多くの仲間をこのまま戦争を続けることを望みます。私があなたたちの考えも理解
He has a point as well.
ただし、その考え方で他人を巻き込む
She has a point as well.
戦時中、悲しい出来事が多々あった反面、勝利の味も経験してきました。あなたたちにとっては戦意をかきたてる経験だったでしょう。ですが、あなたたちの見えないところで Right,
so we had at least one character who was like really big into the fighting, right? That's a thing. We got characters who are, I guess it's a bit of like a PTSD thing, almost. Yeah, people coming back from war where they realized they actually really loved it. That was their thing. Not that common a response, but some people do respond that way.
全てあなたたちのせいというわけではありません。私の考え不足でした。あなたたちに戦う意志を持つよう伝えたのに、それをどう手放すか。
This is almost kind of metaphorical for the samurai in... So recently I watched a documentary series on Netflix about samurai history, well, specifically history around the Nobunaga period and what is it, Hideyoshi and such, but it seemed like there was generations of civil war in Japan. So it was just a country built around war. So you had thousands or maybe even more of samurai who were trained since childhood to fight, and then eventually they Bushido. Oh yeah, they mentioned that. I think that's one of the terms for like the code, right, and such. But anyway, yeah, I think in the documentary they said that at some point it got reunited, and they went into detail and everything. I'm not remembering it in too much detail, but at that point, you know, the war was over. So you had ended up with a lot of samurai, people who had been training for war that now don't have a war to fight, and how that caused both trouble in a lot of places because you have all these men, strong men, powerful with swords that are able to impose their will, but also it caused a lot of samurai to then question, you know, what it means to be a warrior philosophically, not just, you know, physically, right? Like, and that's where a lot of the great writing, apparently, from samurai about philosophy and such came from and developed. At least that's what the documentary said. Sounded interesting and plausible enough. And that's an aspect of samurai history that never really occurred to me, I guess. But it seemed that the idea was that, yeah, they were soldiers who were left without a war to fight, rather than from the beginning it was like a whole system in place of honor and, you know, great stuff, or whatever. Not great stuff, but just like people having this whole ritual and shit around it, which I'm sure they had some of it. We still do to this day, right? rituals and shit around everything, especially in the military. And I guess the older I get, the more I appreciate that such rituals have their use, even if they don't. It's not obvious at first what use they have. Sometimes you just need to go overboard with certain pomp and imagery, and it serves its own purpose that way. So she's leading. I guess that's sort of the story. We're seeing Kokomi lead. And I think I'll end the stream after this cutscene because it is getting late-ish here. And I'm not going to go to bed right away, but I do need to get to bed early-ish. Or not early-ish, soon-ish. So it's probably a good time to end it. Okay, near the secret base. I'm suspicious that this might be the last cutscene of this story, so I'm just gonna do it. If it isn't, either way, I'll end the stream there. Let's go to the secret base. I really like this little nook she's built for herself. Seems like a fun place you can hang out. For her, it'll be about doing research, I guess. It's not at the secret base, it's near the secret base. There is that electro... What's it? Electrocelia? I should chase it down. Yeah, I could give you some energy if you know what I mean. I saw it in this documentary called Fate Stay Night. There's a really reliable way to give somebody else energy. Okay, so she's an introvert. Yeah, at the end of the day, she did fine. Yeah.
荒人神の巫女としてはまだまだ力不足が否めません。以前は勝つことだけを考え、渡積島の安寧を維持し、一人一人が楽しく生活できることを望んでいました。しかし今になってそれだけでは足りないことに気づいたのです。
Maybe it's not going far enough isn't the right way to think about it. It's going in a different direction. You can fill out your skills in multiple ways, let's say. Yeah, and one of them is to keep the peace, not just win the war. Daily catch? Oh shit! Thank you for reminding me. I forgot to do that today. I should do that. I've been doing them. I don't know if I've run out of them yet, but okay, that was the last cutscene. Nice. Okay, great. Am I getting the reward? Primos and shit? Nice. Let me actually see. I'm pretty sure that daily cat shrine quests do run out at some point, but I don't think I've run out yet. Anyway, nice. I wasn't sure if I'd finish Kokomi's story today, but I did, so that's all over and done with. Yes, Actually, wait, who's on the Oniland banner? I forget who the 5 stars. Is it Shitone? I guess that's a banner I'll be not pulling on then. I guess there won't be much FGO to stream. Oh, Melty Blood is next week. Shit. I'd realized that it's very soon, and even though I'm not a fighting game person, I'll probably at least do some story quests, or not story quests, but do some of the single player story on stream, just to do that. Yeah. Man, that's gonna be weird playing... I mean, I've played non-Genshin, non-FGO, but it's like probably 90% at least of the games I play. In terms of time, probably at least 90, 95 are those two on stream. And part of it is that the volume of streaming I do isn't high enough to to really cover more than the events on those two games. But now I kind of want to prioritize Melty Blood a little bit too, because I'm such a big Tsukime fan. Even though, again, I really don't like fighting games. They're fun multiplayer with friends. I think that's the setting where they're like actually super fun. But any other setting, they are decently fun at best for me. It's not like they're intolerable or anything. They're not awful. I don't just automatically get bored, but I do find them not the most engaging, and I do get bored of them on the quick side. Can't really sit down and play a fighting game for more than like, in the past, probably not more than like 15 minutes at a time. I just get kind of bored and I'd find it dull. Ones with stories that I want to get through, I guess they're motivating. I'd always set the difficulty to basically the lowest. I'd never get any better at the games, I guess. And maybe that's why I didn't find them engaging, but I don't feel like getting better at those games are all that rewarding because I don't really want to play multiplayer against other people or anything like that. And again, they're super fun when playing against friends, but when you're playing against friends, at least for me, I'm not caring that much how well I'm doing. It's like, yeah, I'm trying. I'm always trying to win, but I'm not gonna be beating myself up over not having the skills to beat someone or whatever. Oh, nice. Okay, I got those, and yeah, let me actually check. I don't have any pulls, right? What? Oh, I have a pull here. I'm not sure where I got that. Oh, I think that was a battle pass. Okay. Well, I have 0 pity for a 4-star. For a 5-star, I don't think I'm at soft pity, but we're working on it. Getting closer. We're actually very close to soft pity for 5-star. We're at 71, so we're gonna hit soft pity in the next couple of, I think within the next 3 of the Aquarian Fate pulls. But not this one. That was pull number 72 since the last 5-star. So we've got some ways to go. But anyway, yeah, I guess I'll call it a stream there. It looks like I just recently passed the 2-hour mark, so I guess that's fine. I didn't quite mean to stream this long, but I guess I took my time with Kokomi's quest. I probably could have beaten it in an hour if I really decided to speedrun it. But in any case, not sure if I'll be streaming tomorrow. I might. If I do, it'll be Genshin and maybe some Ninja Gaiden. But in any case, I plan on streaming this weekend. Saturdays likely, and definitely Sunday. So watch out for that. But till next time, I hope everyone has the best of luck in your pulls, you know, and your artifacts, everything. And yeah, talk to you next time. Bye.